course, Carmichael plus his teammate Sebastian Tortelli, Yamaha's Afarian, Villeman a little further down. You see LCRacing.com's Keith Johnson and Ryan Clark a little further down, the 40-year-old Guy Cooper. What a wonderful story he is. But right now, let's go down to the starting gate. Cameron Steele's got an update for the 250 class.
The story continues to be Ricky Carmichael. He ran away with moto number 1. They're on the gate for moto number 2 right now. Sebastian Tortelli has the speed. Can he catch him? It's time to go race it right here. Moto 2 gate drive.
And right up the inside, you see David Villeman with a good start, but once again, it's that big KTM of John Dowd with the hole shot. Dowd out front, Carmichael giving chase right behind him. The rest of the pack gets through the turn pretty cleanly. There you see Lusk, and there you see Guy Cooper. So you got the 2 vet riders running 1 and 3, David.
Guy Cooper can make this exciting for a little while, but he's been fading pretty quick.
Well, it comes to being 40 years old. Now, this is where Carmichael made the pass in the first, and you know what? Just like that, he does it again.
Can't believe that Dowd fell for that twice. You might not have known that was Carmichael on him. It's too early in the race to really take a glance over your shoulder, but he's trying to hold the inside right there, but he came in so far on the inside, he automatically drifts wide. Ricky knew it. He was right back to the inside again, and it's see you later now. Tortelli's the only guy that can match his pace, and he got a worse start in this moto from what I can see, so I can't even see where he is yet.
Ricky Carmichael out front, John Dowd second, Ezra Lusk third, then it's Guy Cooper going a little further back. Kyle Lewis is in the top 10. David Villeman with a pretty decent start, and the number 912 of Daryl Hurley, another one of the Suzuki replacement riders. He's taking the place of either Wyndham or Pastrana. Right there you see Sebastian Tortelli not able to jump up over that double. He is mired back at about 15th spot. Carmichael already an entire hill ahead of second place Dowd. Lusk trying the outside line.
Lusk was able to get around Dowd the first moto, no problem. He better do it quick this time or he's not even going to see Carmichael anymore. There's nothing more frustrating than to chase something you can't see.
Well, we aren't even finished with the first lap here. Ricky Carmichael has gapped the field. Ezra Lusk, leader of the Kawasaki Chevy Trucks team, trying to pass John Dowd for second, and then he has a long ways to go before he catches up with the defending champion Carmichael's Honda. Downhill double. Dowd hits it perfectly from the outside. Now the big uphill triple jump, and neither rider is able to jump. It looks like Dowd kind of messed himself up a little bit in that corner, and that little hesitation meant he was not going to be able to pass it.
You can see Carmichael already coming out of the corner going the other way. The mechanics give him their signals. Not that there's that much to say this early in the race.
And Lusk keeps the power on a little longer, comes along the inside, and he's able to, no, Dowd holds him off. And then Dowd makes another mistake at the bottom.
Lusk was counting on that. He was just trying to push Dowd a little bit past his comfort zone and see if he could get a mistake out of him, because if you ride behind him and don't apply a lot of pressure, he's good enough, and he's a veteran. He can ride around this track all until that thing runs out of gas without a mistake. Ezra really pushed him hard. He's able to triple through that supercross section right there in the off camber and work his way up. There's Randy Lawrence's mechanic going, okay, that's a better, we're off to a good start. Looks like second overall if he can hold on to it, especially since Tortelli's so far back. And like I was saying the first moto, Lusk just trying to build some confidence, and he's doing it now.
There you see David Villeman with a nice pass on Kyle Lewis. This is the battle for fifth you're watching, and that is Daryl Hurley right in front of them on the number 912 Suzuki as they come back across from the Sobe sweeper to the infield doubles. A little further back, that is Guy Cooper, and here comes Tortelli, and he is just past Sean Hamlin for 8th spot.
What an awful year for Suzuki. They'd be going after riders that no one's ever even heard of, and they're having better luck than the riders that they hire for millions.
And right there, Villeman gets a little bit of a better jump up the hill, and he is able to remove Hurley as your 4th place rider. So Villeman starting to move up. There's John Dowd. He is 3rd. In front of them, a long ways in front of them, is Carmichael and then Lusk. There you see Hurley in 5th, Lewis in 6th, and a little further behind them comes Robbie Rayner. Or rather, I take it back, that's Sebastian Tortelli.
Tortelli's going to be frustrated with this. I can remember how it felt to be chasing down the leader, come up a little short, and know, okay, it's just going to take a better start, and I've got it. And the second moto rolls around, you get a crummy start, and the guy you're trying to beat is out front again. that just takes all the wind out of your sails. It's hard to even get motivated and get up into second, but you better get motivated because that's not going to be an easy task this time.
There you saw Kyle Lewis, the only rider jumping that triple jump right there, at least in that middle pack on the privateer Honda. You know, you talk about getting, losing your confidence, seeing the other guy good start. Jeff Emig lived with that for 5 years in Supercross, watching Jeremy McGrath get those starts, and now the entire pack is seeing it with Ricky Carmichael.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing when the guy's fast out there on the racetrack and he applies the pressure and occasionally jumps something like this big Dunlop jump right here. He's jumping all the way over that, 60 feet across there and right out of a corner into another one. That's enough. But then when the guy starts getting the whole shot and having a 9-second lead at the end of lap 1, you're just scratching your head going, what else can I do?
Lewis on the inside moves past Hurley, so now he is into the top 5. Kyle Lewis, a great ride in the first moto, but a fall right at the end knocked him out of what would have been a 6th-place finish. Now he's trying to make up for it here in the second moto, holding 5th at High Point Raceway.
I think, you know, we talked about it earlier, Davey, that Sean Hamlin's presence in terms of the privateer status really woke up some of these guys. Now you got Rayner doing well, Lewis doing well. Good to see the privateers getting up into the top 5.
Well, here comes a factory rider through the pack. That's the number 13 Honda of Sebastian Tortelli, but he has a long way to go. Ricky Carmichael, your leader. We will be back to Mount Morris, Pennsylvania in a moment.
I see you're checking out our new Quad Runner Ozark 250.
When you can have this at the same price.
As a factory rider, Marty Moats might well have won numerous national motocross championships. But when the call came to join factory teams, Marty exercised a rare sense of loyalty. He remembered who provided the help in his early years and elected to remain a privateer. Still, Marty Moats enjoyed one of the most spectacular days in U.S. motocross history. He was the first American to win the Carlsbad United States Grand Prix of Motocross.
Ever to win an overall Grand Prix championship here. And Moats is not going to give up. He's coming right back at Brad. And he's got him. He's gone by on the inside. Marty Moats for the second time today.
In 1980, on ABC's Wide World of Sports, riding an LOP Yamaha, Moats beat the best in the world to win both motos. He became an instant American hero.
For the second time today, the checkered flag, the goggles into the crowd.
22 years later, Marty still loves to ride. He competes regularly in Yamaha's Race of Champions and other events where the emphasis is on not so much winning, but having a good time dicing with friends.
And Moats takes the win.
Success followed Marty when he retired from racing. He's vice president of No Fear now, and with his wife Heather and the newest addition of the Moats household, son Dakota, Marty lives in Carlsbad, California. And back to the live action here of the U.S. Motocross Championships, the Sobe Nationals at High Point Raceway, and you are watching Sebastian Tortelli battling privateer Kyle Lewis for 5th, and just like that on the inside, David, it looked like Kyle Lewis let him go.
Well, all Kyle did was pause a little bit in the middle of that sweeper, which has got to be the longest left-hand sweeper in the sport of motocross today. And Tortelli, on the other hand, was going through their back, so it made it look like Kyle just stopped right there. But Tortelli's on a mission to catch Lusk and make it a Honda 1-2 sweep.
Now you're battle for 3rd. David Billiman doing the exact same move on John Dowd that he did on Kyle Lewis, using that quick outside line, catch him off guard on the inside in the following corner.
Yeah, it's working good, and I keep talking about the line choice of David Billiman. He plans ahead. As he's going through that corner, you can see Carmichael already heading up the big uphill. Kyle looks to his left going, man, what is that, a freight train coming? No, it's Tortelli. Here's another look at Billiman's nice move. Just hops into that berm, wheelies out, puts himself to the inside. Dowd's like, well, should have thought of that a little sooner.
So 1 lap, 2 corners, 2 Frenchmen go by 2 American privateers in 4 strokes. I know that's a lot, but try and follow me. And once again, Tortelli is on top of John Dowd. Sebastian Tortelli, like you said, David, he's on a mission.
Well, Lusk has got a huge gap on him. There he goes. There's a lot of ruts right here, and it takes incredible balance to ride well at Mount Morris because of all the berms in these corners through there. Great balance it takes to get through there fast, and also there's a lot of corners where you come out, it's a little bit off camber, and it climbs a hill, and if you're slightly off balance, you can't apply all the power. Tortelli has excellent balance, and he's gaining fast on Lusk.
So Tortelli up into 4th position. Let's recap the playing field. Carmichael, your leader. Lusk 2nd. Billiman 3rd. Tortelli fourth, Dowd fifth, and now Robbie Reynard once again on the charge up into sixth on the Privateer Honda.
See that line Billerman just had up the right side right there as we look at it? Trying to stay low, get the power to the ground.
Right there, Reynard goes by John Dowd as well, so Dowd going the wrong direction at this point in the moto, but right now it looks like the Hondas seem to have this track wired.
They do, and they've got the most aggressive guys right now. They just happen to have a rider like Reynard. Foot slips off the peg right there, doesn't affect him. He's just riding excellent today. And, you know, in John Dowd's defense, wait till we get to Southwick. That's where he's going to be looking good, and everybody other than Carmichael's finish might be in jeopardy.
Down across the finish line to complete another lap. This is the battle for third you're watching. David Billerman with Sebastian Tortelli. They have a long way to go if they want to get to Ezra Lusk, and an even further way to go. In fact, right there at the top of your screen, you can catch a peek of Lusk. He is about 15 seconds ahead of this battle for third.
Billerman already starting to glance to his side, wonder where Tortelli is. Doesn't need to wonder, he can hear him.
Tortelli trying the inside line that was so effective on the last lap. And once again, Tortelli using the long left-handed corner on the inside to make a pass. And right up over the Dunlop double. Look at that, David.
Beautiful. And Billerman's going, you know what? If you've got that, I don't have anything for you.
When we come back, the run to the checkered flag from High Point Raceway. It's Carmichael, Lusk, and Tortelli. Speedworks presentation of AMA Motocross is brought to you by Suzuki, maker of innovative motorcycles and all-terrain vehicles. And by Honda, the company that defines performance in motorcycles, ATVs, and scooters. Honda, performance first. You're taking a look at Bevo Land, a little playground of pro pits in honor of Scott USA's Bevo 40 as we go back to the action on the racetrack. David Billerman and Robbie Reynard battling for fourth. And a little ways behind them, a couple privateers, Kyle Lewis and John Dowd trying to hold off the factory four-stroke of Yamaha's Tim Ferry. And right there, Ferry went by Dowd.
No problem. Listen to that pack.
How much power must be in that corner at one moment. And back up to the battle for fourth. This is Robbie Reynard, and he is challenging David Billerman. And Reynard, once again, moves into fourth, separating himself from half the factory guys. He is right in the middle.
The way Tortelli went around Billerman, and he didn't put up much of a fight, even before he jumped that big Dunlop double, I had a feeling something wasn't quite right with Billerman. I don't know if he's tired or what's going on, but it doesn't surprise me to see Reynard, the way he's riding, they get around him.
Moving back to the battle for sixth, all those four-strokers in a row. It's Lewis, and right there, Lewis moves over just a little bit, and then he jumps back in. Now here comes Ferry on the outside. No, he's got a slight horsepower advantage. That is a factory bike. Down the Bradshaw Boulevard they come, and Lewis is doing a good job of pulling him off, although, David, it looks like his pipe is starting to bounce around a little bit.
Yeah, Lewis is silencer right there on that side. It's starting to wobble a little bit. Hopefully that thing doesn't break off, because it's going to get even louder. You got about 1,300 cc's combined with these three guys running together. When they come by, the fans can't hear anything.
Down past the mechanics area, Lewis doing his best to hold on to the factory Yamaha of Tim Ferry. That time Lewis moved over and took that line that Tortelli used on him, but he's going to open the door for Ferry to come down the inside. Lewis just can't win in that corner.
He glances over his shoulder to see where Dowd is, which usually indicates that he's going, okay, I'm done messing with Ferry, he can have it, make sure nobody else gets by.
But David, check this out on the other side of the racetrack. Look at Sebastian Tortelli. As Ezra Lusk laps Jeffrey Baker, Tortelli has eaten up that entire 15-second advantage, and he is right behind the Kawasaki in this battle for second place.
Well, Ezra is riding as hard as he can, but he talked about struggling with lines in the first moto, and it looks like he's still having that same problem as Tortelli. Besides jumping that Dunlop double and making up a little bit of time, Ezra has started jumping as well now to try to hold him off more, but everything is just clicking a little bit better for Tortelli, and he's had to come through the pack so far. He's found a few lines, I think, and he's using that now to gain on Ezra. See Ryan Clark getting lapped by the second and third place riders. They battle
here in the closing stages of the second moto of the Sobe High Point Nationals. Come around the downhill stair steps. Tortelli looking for a way around Lusk, and oh, a lap rider there on the inside. They both bounce out a little bit, and there goes Tortelli, shoots along the inside, David.
Nice move. Tortelli, I talked about the great balance he has, the ability to get through those off cambers, make it stick, and be able to apply all that power up those hills afterwards and not be caught, take a little bit of a wheelie and having to back out of it. Tortelli on the power hard. Now he's going to show Lusk the way around a little bit. Lusk's going to learn something in these last couple of laps from Tortelli. I don't know if he can use it on him or not, but he's definitely going to pick his pace up.
Whoa, and Tim Ferry goes down. That was the battle for fourth you were watching. Ferry, after that bad start, had caught up to right behind Robbie Raynard, and then he slides out in a corner that we've seen people crash 100 times in, David.
Well, I started to talk about this a little bit earlier until Tortelli did that great big double jump and we got interrupted, but I've gone down there a couple of times. I went down there at the start of the moto a couple of times, had to come from last. This was the battle for second. Left rider kind of sets a little bit of a screen. Lusk has to go wide. Tortelli shoots down the inside into that. And then Raynard getting a little bit of pressure from Ferry, who gets into that corner. The rear wheel wasn't planted. So he pretty much hands fourth place in this moto to Robbie Raynard again.
Back at the front of the pack with Ricky Carmichael. David, is it too early to start talking about the perfect season for this guy?
No, not at all. With the way he's ridden and the way he rode the first couple of races, I thought this could be a boring season, but when he closed in on potentially winning every race, save your ticket stubs, because we could be seeing history here.
So Ricky Carmichael finally gets a 250 national win at High Point Raceway. He rolls across the checkered flag. There are your final results. Carmichael, of course, out front. Tortelli, a great comeback for second, and Ezra Lusk rounds out the top three. Now let's go down to Cameron Steele. He has Ricky Carmichael in the winner's circle.
Is there a way to tell everybody home what makes Ricky Carmichael Ricky Carmichael?
I don't know, you know, there's some secrets in there, but you know, I just work hard. I have a good routine, and the bike works good for me, and you know, I'm really happy. Things are going good, and just got to keep some luck on our side.
Luck is always great. Talk about the race itself, how the track held up. I mean, without having any rain here, the track looks really good.
Yeah, the track is good. It's really moist and tacky, so the track was awesome, and you know, Sebastian was riding good today. I just was able to get out front before he could, and get some time in between us, and I was able to just kind of maintain the same lead, and things was working really good. So we go to Southwick, and I've always done pretty good there. I like the rough track and the heat, so looking forward to it.
Right on. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot. Thanks.
Looking at the overall results, no big surprises. Carmichael 1-1, Tortelli 2-2, Lusk 3-3, and then the big surprise, Robbie Raynard 4-4 for fourth overall. He's with Cameron.
Something just a little different quickly. A guy that did make it to the podium but 2 fourth-place finishes. It's his birthday tomorrow. Robbie Raynard, I got to tell you, a great ride today. You got to be feeling pretty good about this.
Yeah, I feel pretty good. I'm getting closer and closer to that podium finish, and that's what I'm trying to do. I want a couple of those this year before the year's out, and I'm really comfortable on my Honda Raynard modified bike, and we're working hard at it.
You're the top privateer. Talk about what it's like to be a privateer and how gratifying it is to be here in the top 4.
It's definitely a lot of work. You know, I've been factory, and it's definitely a lot easier because you get to fly to all the races. It's just a lot easier. I've drove the last 2 races, and hopefully I'll get to fly a couple of these. But it's definitely a lot harder to be a privateer.
Talk about a couple of the battles out there. I mean, the guys you're racing against. Just take us through just a little bit.
You got to be on the game. You know, those guys are fast, and they're strong, and they're fit. So you got to be fit with them and get a start with them and ride as hard as you can the full moto. And I faded a little bit there at the end, and I'll work on it. I won't be fading for long.
I'm looking forward to some better finishes from you.
I will. I'll be there.
Congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
Taking a quick look at our overall point standings after 3 rounds, Ricky Carmichael was still perfect, and his next race is in the sand at Southwick. Check your local listings. You do not want to miss that one. Well, for David Bailey and Cameron Steele, I'm Davey Coombs from High Point Raceway saying so long, everyone. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com.